These are just a couple of strange, unexplained, sort of spontaneous combustion type cases. And I think they kind of go along with what I've been posting for the last week to 10 days. We put up the videos starting with the forest fires in California and the people who had seen strange like blue lights in the sky and stuff before the fires broke out, and that the fires broke out in multiple locations like all at once instead of catching one from another, things like that. So we had talked about directed energy weapons and, kicked around ideas like that. And then I started posting the last few days about the whistleblower who had come out, and I put him on there in his own words. I'll put the video links below. Please check those out if you're interested in this type of thing. So anyway, the whistleblower said that the tech company that he worked for had been testing these directed energy weapons and frequency weapons and stuff like that over entire towns and entire large cities, with heavy populations, without the citizens knowing, sort of just using people as guinea pigs. And so I think that this kind of ties into that sort of thing, although the whistleblower was talking more about like brain hacking technologies and frequencies in that sense. But I don't think, like we're talking about with the 5G and all of that network being set up and all of that, and we still haven't made the link that before all of this Wi-Fi and all our brains were being bombarded with all of this energy in all directions, uh, that we didn't have the autism that we have. When we're up to over 6 out of 10 male children are manifesting some form of autism, at some point we've got to stop and say, hey, maybe there are side effects to beaming all of these frequencies all over in all directions. So anyway, so the first one happened in the town I was actually living in while I was living there. It was a city of about 80,000, so it was fairly large city. It was south of Chicago, and the story went, and all of the, the actual news coverage, it was sort of a mystery. They just kind of told the story like that, this is a mysterious fire, blah 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 blah. And the facts of it were the lady had come home from work. She wasn't in the house. It was a trailer when it caught fire, and the neighbors had called the fire department and everything, and they had put it out. But anyway, when they went in there, they couldn't determine the cause of the fire because it was so strange. There would be, like, say, a metal appliance melted, looked like it was melted, and I remember seeing the pictures and stuff, and it looked like, something that was made out of metal would be melted, and it would be sitting right next to, say, a magazine that wouldn't be at all singed by fire. I mean, it almost looked like, when you melt something with a microwave or heat something with a microwave. And anyway, so that stuck in my mind all of these years. That was just one of those things that happen, in your hometown that, never gets explained. Well, then, I saw this story about this town in Italy it was some mainstream, it was on Discovery Channel or History Channel or something. It was a mainstream program, one of those mystery programs. And I couldn't find the actual program, but I wouldn't want a copyright strike anyway. So anyway, this town has been experiencing this type of phenomenon since 2004. And it's the same thing. They'll just have objects catch fire out of nowhere. And strange objects, different frequency materials, as if they're testing very specific frequencies. So, it'll be one material in the room will combust and the others won't. And there's things like leaky pipes, where pipes start to, if you watched my World Trade Center video about the dustification of the metal when you use these directed energy weapons, and it actually causes the metal to disintegrate. And so that's what they, are some of the symptoms that they're seeing in this town, that their plumbing pipes, their metal pipes, just in several houses simultaneously will disintegrate, and they'll have these plumbing problems. But anyway, I thought that was odd. It doesn't seem to be any certain material. It'll be couches will just spontaneously combust, or a mirror in one house, the whatever it was made out of kept combusting, different things. So, this stuff happened well over a decade ago, and we're trying to make sense out of it and stuff. And now that it's starting to come to light with these whistleblowers about them testing these frequency weapons over cities and things like this, some of this is starting to make a little sense. A lot of the local people are superstitious and they believe it's spiritual, and that they're somehow plagued with poltergeist or something, and very well could be. Who knows? What do you guys think? What do you think it is? I'm going to tack on a little bit of a video clip I grabbed from somebody else's channel, and I'll give him credit below, just because he took the time to type it out so you guys can actually look at the cities and the village names and the dates and stuff, so that you'll be able to go into the search engines and get the information if you want to look into this further. Okay, thanks a lot. I love you guys. God bless you.
For 10 years, the residents of the Sicilian village of Canneto di Caronia have been utterly spooked by hundreds of mysterious, unexplained fires that seem to erupt out of nowhere. The bizarre phenomenon, which has seen a sudden surge this year, includes spontaneous combustion of mattresses, beds, cars, and devices like fridges and mobile phones, even when switched off. The episodes have attracted the attention of geologists, physicists and volcanologists for several years, but no one has been able to provide an accurate scientific explanation so far. Naturally, the villagers are blaming supernatural entities like UFOs, poltergeists, or other demonic forces. And with no other logical reason in sight, one tends to wonder if they actually might be right. It all began in January 2004, when, without any apparent cause, appliances, including a cooker and a vacuum cleaner, in several houses began to catch fire. Wedding presents, random pieces of furniture, and even a water pipe erupted into flames. In response, the local electric company tried cutting off the power supply to Canneto, but that made no difference. The village was evacuated and a thorough investigation was conducted, but the experts and authorities simply failed to locate the problem. Even with the arrival of volcanologists from the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, and a team of experts from the Italian Navy, no viable solution was found. Understandably, the villagers were terrified, and a few of them even suggested calling in a priest to conduct an exorcism. Months went by, and a period of calm followed, when most of the villagers returned to their homes. Unexplained fires still occur from time to time, and the villagers have pretty much learned to live with them. Other bizarre events have taken place as well. There were unexplained leaks from water pipes of 3 different houses, a vanity mirror in a bathroom caught fire 3 times in 35 hours, and an entire plantation of eggplants developed rainbow-like colors, making them unfit to be sold. Air conditioners have spontaneously melted, car glasses have imploded, hard drives have been erased, automatic gates started opening and closing randomly, and animals have died mysteriously. Without any science to explain these events, it's easy to see why the whole affair appears sinister. I'd be pretty terrified too if I were living in Canneto.